CBS admits scientists are shooting lasers into the sky to control the weather and create lightning. We physicists are firing trillion-watt lasers into the sky to actually precipitate rain clouds and actually bring down lightning bolts. This is potentially a game changer. Hey everybody, Johnny here, Don't Speak News. Well, this is news even though CBS is speaking about it now. Tomorrow they'll probably say that, well, we didn't mean it that way, we meant it this way, and they'll gaslight us again, as we're going to see in this article from the Wine Press. So anyway, after deadly flooding struck Texas last month, concerned Americans pointed towards weather modification and cloud seeding as the cause for historic flooding in parts of the state. After continued denial from the mainstream media and local Texas authorities, deriding those for asking questions as conspiracy theorists, the EPA vowed total transparency in regard to geoengineering. Well, as to be expected, it was more of the same old, claiming chemtrails are simply myth, claiming things such as high-frequency active oral research programs, or HARP, are overblown, and pretending that the government is unaware of any intentional geoengineering projects. Same old crap, different day, different administration. So the Wine Press has covered the media and world government admissions of geoengineering a number of times before. And even though that same media will then publish many more articles and sound bites to disprove their own admissions, the truth still finds its way out. Yes, it does. More examples continue to reemerge what the same media groups will call conspiracy theories. In 2013, CBS aired a segment entitled Controlling the Weather, Is It Possible? Michio Kaku, a physics professor at City College of New York, openly said they shoot laser beams into the atmosphere to create rain and lightning. And guys, that was 2013, 12 years ago. He said, we physicists are firing trillion-watt lasers into the sky to actually precipitate rain clouds and actually bring down lightning bolts. This is potentially a game changer. Yeah, so all these storms that we've been seeing, in fact, I saw them when we lived in Montana quite often. These storms would pop up and there's no rain, but there's lightning. Lots and lots of lightning. And in some instances, people have recorded lasers being shot into the air. And there's your proof right there that they're actually doing it. There's the scientist himself admitting it. We physicists are firing trillion-watt lasers into the sky to actually precipitate rain clouds and actually bring down lightning bolts. How many times were forest fires started by lightning and there's no rain to go with it? Just lots of lightning. I remember that in 2015, 2016, 2017. And it happened quite often. And I always thought it was weird. Why do we have all these storms rolling in, dark clouds with lightning, but there's no rain with it? I'd never really seen that before. But there it was happening quite often, and not just in Montana, but, around the Pacific Northwest. So now Rosie O'Donnell also referenced how China did something similar for the 2012 Olympics, and even the USSR did this to create rain clouds after the Chernobyl nuclear mess. Kaku also brought up how the U.S. modified the weather during the Vietnam War, called Operation Popeye. It's all declassified, guys. Of course, O'Donnell was quick to correct Kaku, saying this was alleged. It's not. It's been declassified. You can go look it up right now. Nevertheless, CBS still made sure to gaslight the audience with the truth by putting graphics on the screen admitting what the government and private companies do it for. Droughts and floods, big events and sensitive buildings, and military reasons, right there. And this was in 2013. They admitted to it. But now they gaslight us and say, no, we never said that. Or that doesn't matter. We got this information that we want you to look at now. I mean, that's essentially what they're doing. And since people, especially those who've had the shots, can't think anymore, they just go along with it. So floods, you say? It says here, however, for floods, for agriculture, farmers, for people planning wedding parties, football games, you name it, outdoor events, agriculture and flooding, and even hurricanes, all of them could be subject to weather modification. Yeah. Them playing God once again. So with all this cloud seeding and laser blasting we have going on, you have to ask, if one of the purposes is to help with droughts and famine, then why don't they do this for so-called wildfires and forest fires? Authorities will let their cities, communities, and forests burn to a crisp until there's nothing left. So then why deploy this amazing technology for the good of humanity? I mean, we're trying to fight climate change, right? Of course, that's sarcasm. Luke 8:17 says, "For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad." Everything is coming out, guys. Like it says here, the truth comes out. Always. The media may have to gaslight you and insert more nonsense surrounding, but the truth is there. Most people are very naive and willfully ignorant. Yep, absolutely. And live in cognitive dissonance. For to admit these simple truths would then force them to concede to more truth. And that's something people cannot allow themselves to do. No, it's not. And I see it all the time. All the time. And there you go, guys. The truth is no longer hidden. Now people hide from the truth. I agree with that completely. They stay focused on their phones. They don't look up. They don't look around. Oh, we've always had earthquakes. We've always had volcanoes. We've always had this. Everything goes on as it did before. Scoffers and the mockers. And some of them are born-again believers, supposedly. Be careful before you scoff and you mock and you say, oh, this is just, normal. Oh, we've got more instruments now to detect these things, so that's why. That's why it looks like it's more. No, these are 1,000-year flooding events that are happening several times every week now. Maybe more than that because they're happening around the world, not just here in the United States. But everybody thinks that as long as they're in their little bubble here, that they're safe. Their phone's working, so everything's fine. Until your house ends up going down the river, floating down the street. Oh, there goes your car. I mean, it's going to happen, guys. And there's supposedly all kinds of magma moving underneath the United States. So on the East Coast, that's why New York had a really rare earthquake the other day, or was it yesterday? Can't keep track anymore. But the truth is no longer hidden. But now people are hiding from the truth. I couldn't agree more. And there you go, guys. I'll put the link up as always. Got a lot to talk about today. This is just the beginning. God willing, there'll be some more videos today. And yeah, we definitely got some stuff to cover. But that is it for now. God bless, take care. Johnny Storm, Don't Speak News.